Good morning, students. Here I am back again with you with another lesson. Flit on Cheering Angel Part 1 and Part 2. Now we are now going to talk about an angel, and human being who is like an angel. Who is angel? Angel is somebody who lives with God, is an angel. So this lady with her work is regarded as an angel. So the title of the story, Flit on Cheering Angel, Flit on, Move on Cheering Angel, tells us that here we are going to speak about a person who is godlike, who is divine like God. Her works are closer to God. Okay, as in the Bible it is said that if you are serving humanity, you become closer to God. So by serving human being, she has become godlike. Now let us read. In the year 1820, there was born at Florence in Italy an English baby girl. She was born in Florence, a place in Italy. Her father was Mr. Nightingale, and a wealthy gentleman who had 2 country homes in England, and he and his wife named their little one Florence after the lovely city where she was born. They returned to England when she was still quite small, and Florence grew up in the beautiful wooded country of New Forest in Hampshire. So, she was born in Florence and she grew up in a place called New Forest in Hampshire. Underline for short questions. Okay, so where was she born? Where was Florence Nightingale born? Where did she grow up? Now let us find what type of a girl Florence was. Now Florence must have been a rather serious girl, for when her mother and elder sister were giving and attending parties and entertaining friends, she preferred to slip out to the village where, if any of the humble folk there were ailing or sick, humble folk, simple folk, if they were sick, if they were suffering, Miss Florence was sure to pay daily visits, doing all she could to ease their pain. Ease their pain, lessen their pain. So, young girls often go to parties, they like to entertain, enjoy. But this was a girl who was very different. She liked to attend to sick and old people. She was caring from the very, very beginning. She was different. As she grew older, Florence Nightingale became more and more interested in the relief of suffering. So, anybody who was suffering, she would go there to relieve them, to make their pain less, to make them comfortable. She longed to become a nurse, but her mother would not allow it. So, no mothers like their daughters to be nurse, particularly in those days, not today. Today, nursing is a very enviable profession. It is a very glamorous profession today. But during those times, nobody wanted their daughters to become nurse. And there are reasons also why they did not allow. Because it must be remembered the nurses in those days were not honored and respected as they are today. Today the nurses are admired, nurses are respected, honored, and they are also godlike. Indeed, most of them were ignorant, unskillful, and careless. So, during that time, nurses were ignorant. They did not know anything about their job. They were not skilled. They did not have training. They were careless, and they often had very bad habits, and they were not paid well. So, who would like their daughter or to come to such a profession where there was no respect, there was no money, the conditions were very poor? It was very natural for her mother not to allow her daughter in this kind of a profession. Yet, nursing was the profession that Florence longed with all her heart to join. So she desired to join this profession. Even a doctor friend warned her against doing so. So doctors should encourage, but here there was a doctor who warned her, "Madam, please join this profession. You won't be able to do it. You are a frail lady. You won't be able to do it. You have no idea," he told her, "of the horrors of a great hospital. There are sights which would horrify you and companions who disgust you. Still, she was not to be shaken from her purpose. So she said, Madam, please don't go. The sights of the hospital are very horrifying, very fearful, very terrifying, and the people who will be with you will be very disgustful. They are ignorant people. They don't come from good backgrounds. So, please do not join this profession. But all these things could not actually move her from her purpose. She was a very determined lady. Okay. She went with her family upon several pleasure journeys to different parts of Europe, and everywhere she saw how very much better the profession of nursing was carried on abroad than at her home. So she went abroad, and there the nurses were better trained, the situation was much better, and she became motivated. She saw how Sisters of Mercy, as they were called, so what were the nurses called? Underline, Sisters of Mercy, gave themselves up entirely to the work of being trained to help the suffering, and after a while she persuaded her family to let her learn. Persuaded means to make somebody agree to something, give reasons to be behind them for a cause. So ultimately she persuaded her family to let her learn nursing in Paris, and soon afterwards she returned home. Her training having been completed, she was given charge of a new London hospital for women. Here, working very hard but gaining an immense amount of valuable knowledge, a lot about nursing, she remained happily until the autumn of 1854. So autumn of 1854 is a red letter day, because something terrible must have happened, something very important must have happened. And what it was? The Crimean War, in which Britain, France and Turkey fought against Russia, began in the spring of that year, and a few months later the British people read in their newspaper of the dreadful sufferings of British soldiers in Russia. The wounds which these brave men received in war were the least part of their suffering. So, the British people read in the newspaper how terrible the condition of these soldiers were. Okay, they had to endure neglect, bad weather, live in wretched quarters, bad food, overcrowding. Before long, terrible diseases broke out among them. So, it was really a very terrible thing. They were neglected, the weather was not good, the places where they lived were very bad, there was overcrowding, there were diseases and what not. Who would like to be there? And there was no Red Cross Society. So Red Cross Hospital. So what is Red Cross Hospital? Red Cross is a society that protects human life and health of the people. So there was no Red Cross Hospital then as there are today. The largest hospital was situated in barracks at the Turkish town of Scutari. So where was the largest hospital situated? In the Turkish town of Scutari. But it was far too small for the sick and wounded who were shipped to it across the Black Sea. It had no beds, no clean sheets, no blankets, very few doctors and no nurses. British folk read the reports. They were shocked and ashamed. Something must be done and done quickly, they said. So British people said, we have to do something. A trained nurse must be found who would take charge of a band of nurses and sail for Scutari at once. In a very short time, matters were settled. Why? Because Florence Nightingale volunteered. She was to lead this new mission to the sick and wounded. So she became the leader of a group of nurses. She chose 38 nurses and made arrangements about medicines, bandages, food and bedding for the wounded. Then without any waste of time, she sailed for the east with her helpers, as calm and composed as if she were just going out for a short walk, her sister said. So she was very calm. She was very determined. okay, and very happy inside, because this is what she wanted to do the most. So she set out on her job in Scutari. Now let us see what she did there, which we will see in Flit on Cheering Angel part 2. Okay.